It's Donovan Evercher from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.
We're on to race number 6 now. It's the Gold Circle Racing YouTube channel, MR68 handicap over 1600 meters. It will jump at 15:35. Let's take a look at a rerun first of the Bayou at Scottsville on the 14th of August when winning.
The insiders, Pine View, Imitation Game, between runners Ricardo, Call Me Mr. Greenlight, Pedro, the Bayou's on the inside, coming out of the 200 meter marker, Higher Purpose, Imitation Game, the Bayou, Ricardo on the inside, Pedro's getting into the race late over the last 100, Ricardo, the Bayou on the inside, these are the two, it gets mighty close, they hit the line, I think the Bayou won it, I think the Bayou beat Ricardo and Pedro.
Well, you've just seen the rerun of the Bayou and winning in his last start. Rahil, I do think he has to repeat that kind of performance to feature here because he did win at long odds.
Yes, he was around 10 to 1 in the market. There were a few shooties out there that were in the camp of number 8 at the Bayou on that occasion. And he is the 8-year-old son of Magog. So that last start, he did win, just getting up to beat Ricardo. And I think Ricardo could possibly just turn the form around. The Bayou does have good form over 1600. And he's drawn in the same gate as he was last time out, same size field as well, and he's gone up 3 points for that victory. And he's a horse that he must have taken his race extremely well because he's been backed up 13 days later. And the Bayou, that win would have done his confidence a world of good, and he's a horse that I think could go in once again. Number 5, Ricardo from the Teeny Prinsloo yard. Now, he's had 4 runs in the province for Teeny Prinsloo. Ignore the poly starts. This horse does not like the poly at all.
Yes.
His runs on the turf, he's run 3 lengths behind Don't Touch Me from the worst of the draws. Last time out, narrowly beaten by the Bayou. He's half a kg better off. Pedro coming out to win from the form line. And Seanville gets a ride now. And I think Ricardo could just turn the form around with the Bayou. So that's going to be my narrow first choice at around 9 to 2 in the market. I do quite like a bit of the other Teeny Prinsloo runner, A Whole New World, as some value in the race. 16 to 1 in the market. Samanga Kumalo gets a ride. His last winning mark was a 68. He's now on a mark of 62. 13 runs over the distance, 2 wins, 1 second and 3 fourths. And his recent form isn't the most encouraging. But I think with jockey Samanga Kumalo taking the ride and off a lower mark, I think A Whole New World could just offer you some decent value, especially for those exactors and swingers. And if you look past those 2 horses, then Master to Be comes into the race from the best of the draw. Quizmaster, 1600 meters now. I don't think he was disgraced in his post-maiden runs from a decent draw. Could get into the mix as well. Senor Garcia, he's running in some good consistent form at the moment. So it is a tricky sort of race. They bet in at around 33 to 10 the field. So a tricky race, but I like the 2 Teeny Prinsloo runners in this lineup, Devon.
I quite like number 3, Senor Garcia. I've elected to banker this in the place accumulator. Pick 6 wise, I think you've got to play a little bit wider. It's got a good draw now and can lead again. And Ashton Aries has stuck with the ride. He's ridden this horse before and run a short head second behind Track Commander. So I do think that this horse is good enough to finish in the top 3. I also quite like number 1, Rahil, Master to Be. This is currently trading at 33 to 10. I see Keegan DeMello is back aboard. And this combination, you just can't leave them out. When Keegan DeMello rides for Mark Dixon, they're always in the shake-up. And then an outsider that I want to touch on, number 4, Blue Voyager. Could go well again here, you know. If you look closely at this horse, on a few occasions has been handy and prominent and was narrowly beaten lens-wise. So maybe a good draw, Muzi Yeni aboard, a repeat of that kind of performance. You can possibly throw this horse into your larger trifectas and quartets. But PA-wise, how are you playing it? You're going in with number 5, Ricardo?
I'm going to be with number 5, Ricardo. I'll include number 7, A Whole New World, the Bayou, and number 2, Quizmaster. So I'm going to go 4 horses in terms of that place accumulator. It's a sort of a tricky race if you look past Ricardo. And yourself?
I'll be bankering number 3, Senor Garcia.
So there you heard it from Devon. He's all in with number 3, Senor Garcia. And if you look past the form runners, it does tend to become a bit muddling.
I bet with Interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.